As prices continue to rise and the stock market falls, White House officials are amplifying President Biden's message that a recession is not inevitable. They say that they are also working to give people some temporary relief from high gas prices. Well, CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns is at the White House with more on all of this. I'd like to hear more about that temporary relief, but let's talk about what we heard from Janet Yellen. What more can you tell us about what she said and other Biden administration officials, what they're saying about inflation and the risk of a recession?
Right. Well, this is a White House that knows that this is not only an issue facing Americans, but also a political issue for the White House and for Democrats, especially heading into a midterm election year. And what we heard from administration officials over the weekend, particularly on the Sunday shows, was this refrain that a recession is not inevitable. And they're trying to say that, look, the economy looks good on paper. Unemployment is at a very low rate. But yes, we understand that people are having to pay a lot more for things, regular goods and services, but also those gas prices. So it's this balance that they have to strike about trying to not sound too many alarm bells, but also recognizing what's going on here and also recognizing that they have had to kind of backtrack on some of their words. Janet Yellen, of course, who was on ABC this weekend talking about this, had said recently that they underestimated really how inflation was going to go. So this is a White House that is kind of on the defense on this issue and trying to figure out ways within the scope of what they can actually control to address these concerns. So a lot of it's going to be messaging. But remember, last week, the Fed introduced that rate hike, the first the highest that it had done in nearly 2.5 decades. And that is, we'll see kind of whether that does relieve some of these pressures. But certainly, given that lots of administration officials were out there this weekend talking about this, shows what a big concern this is for this particular White House.
So the national average for a gallon of gas is hovering at just under $5, and the Biden administration is weighing the idea of a federal gas tax holiday. Explain, Caitlin, how that would bring some relief at the pump.
Right. Well, this is actually a really tricky political issue for the White House and Democrats and members of Congress. What this would do is essentially there's about an 18-cent tax every time you fill up your gas tank, 18 cents per gallon. So relieving that tax, could send a message, hey, we're trying to do something here. We're trying to get you as much relief as possible in what we can control. But 18 cents per gallon is really not a lot. And there's a concern, of course, that might not be passed on directly to the consumer. But the bigger problem here is that the reason that tax exists is that it goes to infrastructure projects. And that's why you had some administration officials saying this weekend that, yes, this is something that the White House is considering. Yellen said that they're looking at it and considering it, but also what impact this would have on this big infrastructure bill that this White House has been touting as a top achievement. A lot of that revenue stream comes from this particular gas tax. You also hear some concern about this from members of Congress, especially some Democrats, because of that very issue, wondering what kind of impact that would have on infrastructure projects. At the same time, however, you do have some Democrats running in really difficult races for the Senate who are trying to explore ways to at least show that they are trying to figure out ways to provide some kind of relief. So you do have a little bit of a divide on Capitol Hill about this within the Democratic Party. And Republicans aren't really entertaining this idea because they believe it's a political gimmick, that it won't really do enough. And they are urging the administration to tap into more reserves here in the U.S. So this is a difficult political issue as well. But what's interesting here is that this is an attempt again to show, look, we're trying to do what we can. We're trying to do something. But the White House can't do that alone. They would need buy-in from Congress. Interestingly enough, as we've all been covering, there are a lot of governors across the country who have been implementing their own gas tax holidays in their states. So if we're going to see kind of some relief, that's likely where it's going to come from, because it remains an uphill battle on Capitol Hill and a big question about what it could actually really do.
All right. Caitlin Huey-Burns for us at the White House. Caitlin, thank you.